Will say, well, I can manage it. I don't need this. No, that's not true. You can't stop taking your high blood pressure medicine without your doctor saying, okay, your blood pressure's at a good place. You can stop your medicine. There are things you need to do before you stop. So this, I'm going to go cold turkey. I'm not taking this depression medicine anymore. I'm going to beat it. That's not good. But I applaud you for wanting to be strong, but sometimes you need help, and that's okay to have that help. Um, I wanted to come from a personal place. I have, well, before I even go into that, another thing, especially in the black community, I have noticed that we don't like to go to therapy. We don't like counseling. We just say we don't need to do that. We don't want these people in our business. I don't need to talk to nobody. That is so not true. Just like you go to your doctor for your routine physical, or, well, that's a whole nother problem in the black community. We don't like to go to the doctor either. But you get what I'm saying. So the same way you go for your annual checkups, your, physicals, you need to go check in with a counselor sometimes, or a mental health professional, just to kind of gauge where you are mentally. Things that you think may not have bothered you, you find that they have bothered you. And, sometimes just talking to a neutral party that doesn't know you, doesn't know your family, doesn't know your friends, doesn't know your coworkers, it's a safe place where you can talk and really vent those emotions and kind of see, where things are coming from. So I have two actual, two or three personal stories that I like to share with you guys. And I've invited people to share on my YouTube. I'm inviting you now to share your comments and your thoughts and your stories. And on my Facebook, I've invited people to share, and I'll do so on Instagram. And my page, my classrooms, my office is always a safe space. There's a no judgment zone, so I want people to feel free. I actually called my best friend yesterday and said, well, because she posted it, Cheryl Robbins posted on her page about it being, minority mental health awareness month. So I kind of wanted to talk to her and say, do you think I should share my story? And she was like, sure, you should. That helps, get rid of this stigma around it and kind of freeze it, and Cheryl, I want to commend her. She is a sexual abuse survivor, and she has shared her story. She has written a children's book, and that too is tied in with mental health. She had to dig through that pain and get to a safe place and a healthy place, and I commend her for that. So I'm jumping out there doing the same, and I encourage you guys to do that. Again, like I said, we are ashamed to share. We don't want anybody to know. But it's real life, y'all. The same way I keep going back to any other sickness. When you had the flu, you had pneumonia, you're in the hospital, you have appendicitis, it's a sickness that you have to treat. It's the same thing. So I started in high school. My mother was a guidance counselor. So she was all about counseling, therapy, talking things out. So really nothing was wrong, but I was being a typical teenager, and I was driving my parents crazy. So my mom thought we should go to family counseling. So that was my first experience with counseling. Just to kind of talk, like I could talk to the therapist about my frustrations with my parents. I sometimes felt very, what's the word I'm looking for? I felt like they didn't trust me. But on the same token, they felt I was giving them reasons not to trust me. So we had this internal struggle going on. So it was good to go to family counseling so they could hear my perspective and I could hear theirs in a safe place. So that was my first experience with counseling. And I won't say it. Okay, I'm sure it did work. I'm not going to say it didn't work. But again, I was a teenager. So my parents in my mind were crazy. They didn't know what they were talking about. So I'm sure my parents at that time got more out of it because they could understand me than I did, because I wasn't mature enough to accept everything. So I would say it still was a positive experience. Okay, so then I became an adult. I was going through a personal relationship, a romantic relationship that really, it wasn't a good relationship. It wasn't a healthy relationship at that point. It had been, but due to circumstances in life, it hadn't been. So I started going to talk to someone about that. But again, I wasn't receptive, but she did prepare me and give me some good tools to take on with me in the relationship. But again, it wasn't to that point where it was really bad yet. So it just was more like prep work. So then that relationship dissolved, and I wasn't expecting it. I didn't see it, and I was devastated. So I went into a temporary depression. It happens. It is what it is, and I'm just being honest about that. But a good thing about that time period in my life, it was the lowest time period in my life, but I would say, and again, this is just me, that was my time when I already had a relationship with God, but this really brought us very close at that point because it was just me and him. And he helped me get through it. But I didn't rely only on my faith. Of course, that was the driving force, and God was the driving force. But I went on and went to my doctor. I told him I'm not sleeping. I cry all the time. I'm just not in a healthy mental state. And at that time, he said he diagnosed me with temporary depression. So he gave me something to help me sleep, and he gave me something for antidepressant. And I was on it for 6 months. So that's what I'm saying. If you guys go to the doctor and they put you on something, it may not, again, we have this stigma about being on something. It may not be forever. Mine was temporary. It just got me over that hump until I was in a healthy mental state, where I wasn't crying, where woe is me was not my life all day, every day. And that helped me. So that was one time. And then maybe a year ago. No, actually it was 2 years ago. And this was something that happened that I didn't know it was going to impact me the way it did. I lost my job out of nowhere. There was a reduction in force, and I was impacted. Anybody that knows me knows that I love my job. At that particular job, I loved my job, and I loved my team. Like, we were the dynamic team. Like, we were family. And I defined myself at that time through that job and through my relationships at work and, this big family that I had. So losing it made me question everything. Like, what did I do wrong? What am I going to do? This is me. This is what I do. This is what I love. Like, and again, I went into a dark place. But I was able I had a good support network, like the other people that lost their job. We rallied around each other. We prayed with each other. Like, they were my therapy. So, I got through that, and I just, that's how my vlog started. And my, on Instagram, I was doing, photos of my journey of unemployment. So it's called Jobless Journey. So that, kind of was my therapy as well. But then I started seeing the effects of losing my job coming out in my self-esteem, coming out in my, what's the word I'm looking for? My confidence in myself. Like, I doubted everything I did. I was very scared of losing my job again, which when you're nervous about something and you're scared, sometimes you make careless mistakes. You're not focused. You're just kind of all over the place because you're operating in a place of fear and hurt that you haven't healed from. So when I started noticing that, I went back to counseling, and I've been in counseling now, going on 6-7 months. And again, I'm not on any kind of antidepressants or whatever, but it was just a place for me to talk and to kind of reestablish my confidence and get to the nitty gritty of where these feelings I was experiencing were coming from. And to help me get to a better place where I felt I could be the old Stacey, and where I was confident in getting back into my groove. So I'm sharing all this to say, guys, it's okay. You are human. You're going to go through some things, but you have to arm yourself with those tools to help you. Now, if maybe you don't have insurance, some people, believe it or not, still do not have insurance. But like at my church, even, you can go there and say, I'm going through this, and we have a plethora of counselors and programs to help you get through that. I actually use my EAP program every time I've gone through counseling. EAP stands for Employee Assistance Program. Most of you, I'm sure you probably don't even know you have it, but talk to your HR person or your benefits person, and they can give you that number. And it's confidential. Your job won't know that you're going. You just call. They give you a list of numbers, or, therapists. You tell them what you're looking for. And they will, you go from there, and it's covered through your insurance. So there are options. There are hotlines, guys. You can call mental health hotlines. You can call your physician. They can give you people referrals to talk to. If you're on public assistance, you can go to your local clinic, and they will hook you up with mental health professionals. But we, as people, as black people, as minorities, as females, as whatever, people, period, we need to dispel this rumor about, something must be wrong, really wrong with you if you going to, counseling, or if you're on any kind of depression medication. I have a former student, who came to me near the end of the quarter, and she had been telling me like she just was struggling with some stuff. And so she finally went and found out she was diagnosed with bipolar. She was bipolar. And she really was like, I don't want to be on any medication. I don't want to do this. And I'm like, look, this is affecting your schoolwork. It's affecting your home life. Like, you have to do this for you. There's nothing wrong with it. We've all been there. Treat this so, you aren't in this dark, lonely place, forever. Like, this medicine is here to help you. Now, again, I don't know everyone's religious beliefs, but I believe with praying and, putting your faith in God to bring you out of this, that He'll heal you completely. And you may be able to get off this medication. So don't take it as a life sentence. Deal with the here and now. Deal with the issue here and now. Like me, I'm on this diabetes medication. I'm on blood pressure medication. But if I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing and what my doctor says, if I keep improving, I could come off this medicine. So there's hope. So my main thing for coming to you today is to bring you hope, to bring you sunshine, to bring you love, and let you know there are tools and resources out there to help you. There's nothing wrong with you having some issues or emotional or mental problems. It happens, guys. It's life. The problem comes when you don't do something about it. And that's why we have all these killings out here, these senseless killings, these people just snapping and going off on folks. And we don't want any more of that. We don't want that for you. We don't want that for your family, your children, etc. So get the help before it's too late. That's my message today. I'm as real can be. I'm transparent. I told my best friend yesterday, nothing that I've experienced, I'm too embarrassed to share, because that's my journey. That's what has made me who I am. So if you have questions, if you want to talk to me privately, inbox me or email me, however, I'll be glad to talk to you and share my counselor's name, whatever you need. I'm here to help. I'm a human resource professional, so I'm a resource to humans. I love saying that. So whatever you need, let me know, and I can either provide you that information or point you in the right direction. So I want you guys to stay healthy, happy, and let's conquer this whole mental illness thing before any more damage is done. All right? Have a blessed Sunday. Have a blessed 4th. And I'll talk to you guys later. I hope this was helpful. Holla.